You're listening to When Brothers Talk Radio Show, and we're your hosts, Chris and Ben, with our brother, King Brother, Chris G. It's so good to see you guys. How you guys doing, fellas? How are you?
Well, sir. Doing well, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Well,
Always blessed to see us. I say that for real with all humility. It's always blessed to see us. I'm grateful for you, grateful for everything that you're about, and everything that you're striving for. So it's good to be here, good to be seen. What's new with you? What's been going on?
oh,
Well,
let me jump. I'll just jump in this. So what's new with me is that I am happily taking me back.
Okay, I like that. Happily.
Yeah, happily taking me back.
Okay.
You and I a couple weeks ago was having a conversation where I said to you, I said that I allowed her to allow someone to take my strength. I
Hmm.
gave I gave them my hair. I let them know. And then I realized as I was talking about that, I was like, "Oh, I gave somebody my strength." And then I just went on a whole another little tangent of like doing some researching and some studying and some reading. And then, me, I'm always I'm not religious, but I love the Bible. And took me through a little passage of scripture, and I was like, "Man, I have to share that with you." And then all of a sudden, we're going back and forth and having some conversations about, wait a minute, what does this mean? So for me, man, it was good. Like to have that power to get me back,
That's what's up, man.
man, just
That's
blew
what's up.
away.
Chris, talk to us.
yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Something that's new with me, something that I've started doing which is either once a month or once every other month, man. I take myself on I guess you can say a trip
Hmm.
to where it doesn't have to be anywhere far. It doesn't have to be a whole weekend thing, but even if it's just a overnight thing, man, I take myself there. I disconnect, whether that means I'm turning my phone off and I'm grabbing a book, or I'm just chilling, doing what I want, when I want, how I want. You know what I mean? It's like it's my time. Outside of riding around on four wheelers and stuff, freeing my mind. But now I take myself somewhere and I disconnect. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I need to steal that.
That's good.
I need to
That's
steal
good.
that myself.
I think we could all use some of that. I don't think I know. I'm convinced that we could all use some of that me time where it's just you, where you actually just shut yourself off from the world. You disconnect, like
Yeah.
you stated, and if you do anything, you do. If you don't, you don't. Take as much time as you need. And I believe we're moving into that place where we are able to afford that even at this point in our lives too. And that's
Right.
what's good. That's what's good.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Because I was sharing this with somebody before, and it kind of ties into Garvin's point. I shared with them, I said, we so busy lifing that we stop living.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
like life isn't gonna stop,
Mm-hmm.
but we stop living to pay bills. We stop living to take care of children. We stop living to take care of spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever. So don't ever let life stop you from living. Life is gonna life. You can't stop it, but don't let life and stop you from living.
I like that.
Stop
Chris,
that.
that resonated with you, bro?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I like that.
It's
He put
good.
the words to it. He articulated it
Oh
for
man, yeah.
sure.
What's doing me, man, is I'm just taking time to really just slow down and enjoy life. It's crazy. I was on a Bible study today, an entrepreneur's Bible study, and the guy was saying how we get so caught up in making that $100,000, thinking that that's going to satisfy and eliminate. He said, but we move into grind mode versus gratefulness and just operating from the gift, so we get caught up in business. But he was saying how, it's important that we always yield the talents that we have back to the kingdom, what I'm saying, and use them directly for that. So yeah, I'm grateful for the connections I'm having, man. Made some good connections this week, last week, and just looking forward to going moving forward, man. All right, Ben, you ready for this, man?
Listen, I am I'm very much excited for this. Go ahead, sir. Go
Yeah, well,
ahead.
I mean, our topic tonight, man, my thing is like, you're a content creator, so like, what inspired you? You know what I'm saying? What motivated you? And we
So,
gotta drop it on there too. So,
okay. So how how do we relationship? How we do relationship, I'd say.
Mhm.
So, like, what really kind of inspired me for this whole conversation is that, quite honestly, even those of us who are seasoned, who've been married for some time, who've been in long-lasting relationships and whatnot, we still do a lot of it wrong. And I don't think that it's necessarily wrong from the perspective of like we're not giving our all or anything like, but like sometimes we're staying in situations too long. Sometimes we're allowing for the person who isn't necessarily at our best interest to do more. We fall into societal norms and ideals about different things. And man, like we just need to come back and have some real conversations around how we actually do relationship. What is it? What is it supposed to be? What is it supposed to look like? Because a lot of what we have ascribed to
Mhm.
is not actually real relationship. It's companionship. So we really kind of like need to. I just felt like we should really dig into some of these little side pocket conversations within it to get into it. So.
So this is our topic, how we do relationships. We ready to jump on it. We ready to jump in, bro.
Yeah, let's get it. All right. So I'm gonna ask this to y'all, and like I'm curious your thoughts on it. So why is there a double standard in dating and relationship? Like we see it all the time. A simple one is men go out, women go out on a date, and the man always has to pay. That's a double standard. There's so many different double standards that come out there. Women looking at men look at women, all this other type of stuff. But why is there this double standard? And I'm a follow up with that one. Can the double standard ever be reversed?
Okay. All
But
right.
why is there a double standard?
Go
I
ahead, Chris.
think that's it's a good question, man. And I would say, especially down here in the South, I would say relationships definitely has a lot of no parts to it, where the man's supposed to pay for this. The man's supposed to bring you flowers. He's supposed to open your door. I feel like we've taken a lot of traditional things we saw growing up or in movies or whatever, and we are sprinkling it on new age dating, new age relationship, and that would be my take on it, man. Because that's what I think. Because I know even when I'm dating, there's a lot of things I feel like I'm supposed to do because of what I saw growing up or what I was taught, or I don't know, just hearing other women say a man's supposed to do this and a man's supposed to do that. So that
Think
would be my take.
I think it falls back to um, control, manipulation,
Mhm.
trying to control the masses. Because who is to say? As I've gotten wiser, I like that.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. Everybody can see on YouTube. That's
As I've
good.
gotten wiser and I reflect, man, honestly, like a woman can do what a man does,
Right.
and a man can do what a woman does. You follow me? Purposes are different, but that's societal's constraints. And again, it kind of ties back into us defining masculinity and femininity. You follow me? So yeah, I think
Right.
there is a double standard. It's erroneous, I'll be honest with you. I mean, because who was opening your door before I opened your door?
Right.
For some women, they've never had anyone open their door. So to
Right.
them, it's normal to go out with you and open their own door.
So, like, I'm usually contrarian. I think that there's some piece. So I think there's a component of courtship and chivalry
Hmm.
that should be a part of dating,
Okay.
right? In relationship.
You know what? Okay.
I I
I can go with
understand.
that.
Go ahead. John.
I'll go with this here. Thanks for let me come in too. I'll go with this. Men protect,
Right,
men cover. So
right.
we have a different build, even our physique and our composition is
Physiologically,
different, right? All right. Um, so with that being said, yeah, I mean, I do hold on to listen, I've been influenced. There's some traditions I adhere to and hold to, and
right.
but I believe there's a double standard. But go ahead.
No, there's totally a double standard.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't want to ever lose sight So I don't want to get so far out
Hmm.
that I like if I go on a date with a woman, that if you go and reach for a door, I'm gonna stop. And the first time I'm gonna be like, okay, and I don't care who you out with any other time, but if you go
Right.
out with me, you sit your tuchus down and you let me grab this door.
And I
Right?
think that's for
Right? Right.
that's
So
all.
like, yeah,
We're
that's all of us because
brothers.
I believe that we're all gentlemen,
Right.
right? Like we're all gentle. So there is some of that. There is some of that courtship. There is some of that chivalry. However, like, if we were to use if we were using like paying for dates as one, like let's really think about this. If you invite me out
Hmm.
as a woman, why am I responsible for the bill? I was at home chilling. I was I was Netflix and chilling myself, right? Like whatever you want to call it, right? I was chilling. And now all of a sudden you're like, well, you want to go out? You want to go out to eat? All right, cool. You invited me out. I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna put my clothes on. I'm gonna meet you where you want me to meet you at. And if that's the case, you're telling me now all of a sudden, oh, okay, well, cool. We done spent $150 out, like the bill is on you. But wait a minute, like I wasn't planning on spending $150. I was watching Netflix. I just popped my popcorn. I just lit my fireplace. I was chilling. You wanted me to come out. It is your responsibility to take care of me. In the same way that if I invite you out as a woman, it is my responsibility to take care of you. So I don't there's some parts of it like I never want to lose sight
Hmm.
of like to me that's a man standard. We
Hmm.
should never lose courtship. We should never lose chivalry. Regardless of where it comes from or where it's rooted from, I just wholeheartedly believe that we should always have that. That should be a component of it. Like I'm
Hmm.
not gonna like let this girl race to the door and let herself in. I can't do that.
Right.
But like to think that you can't like take care of dinner. Come on, man. Like you work like I do. You might make more than me. You told me to come out. You know what I'm saying?
And that's my position. It's not whether you invited me. You want me to get your nails done. It's a kind of gesture. It's cute. You know what I'm saying? Pay for me to get my nails done or a pedicure. You know what I'm saying? Man,
Right. With it. I'm with it.
just want to put this plug in there that Chris G, our brother, is the founder of Venting Storms. And I so appreciate everything that he does in the community. I have not attended one of the events, but brother, I watch you. You told me your vision. And man, I'm telling you, I'm very much appreciative. And I know the brothers that follow you are appreciative too. So thank you so much for always being here and supporting, man. And thanks for pouring back to the community. Ben, I appreciate you sharing with us the vision and what inspired you, during this time to do the conversation. And now we're getting ready to go to part two of this segment. Man, I love the way you break it down. And it is very thought provoking. So go ahead and get us ready so we can have this conversation.
So I think that one of the things that I've learned is that a lot of our relationships is formed, our ideals are formed out of a relationship or a religion, I should say. Our ideals of relationship is formed out of religion. A lot of us grew up in church in some capacity. And so like I'm gonna pose this question to you all, and how important is religion or spirituality in relation to your partner?
I would say, for me, man, it's definitely important, highly important, uh, because it's like I said, I grew up in the church, so I know the Most High for myself. And if I'm pursuing someone, if I'm dating someone, if I'm investing time into what we're trying to build and create, I would like to know that it's going somewhere. I'd like to know that you have that spiritual foundation. I would like to know that you do believe in the Most High. We share those beliefs because when you have those beliefs, it's not just I pray twice a day or something like that, but it goes into uh, morals and the way you carry yourself, the way you view life, the way you view yourself, and the people around you, the choices you make, your decisions throughout life. So to me, it's definitely important.
So before the high prelate responds, so you're saying that in order for her to be a match to you, that is a
Hmm.
precursor for a relationship in your eyes. Is that
Oh,
correct?
definitely
Definitely,
correct.
definite
Correct.
precursor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because I would want to, and I think I actually stole this from you, man. I would want to see myself in her. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because I know my beliefs and
Right.
the way I carry myself, and especially if we get there, she's going to be a representative of me, of us. So it's definitely important for me to see that.
Okay. Postulate.
I believe that spirituality, religion, and I'm challenged with religion because of the
Okay.
way I was raised. And what I'm saying is that when you put more emphasis on the dogmas, the doctrine, the look versus my feelings and being in touch with the feelings of my infirmities and what I'm dealing with. When I want to praise, but I ain't got no joy, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or I'm feeling depressed because young people feel depressed and children feel depressed. Then I'm challenged in that regard. But when it comes to relationship, at that level of spirituality where you are connected with, with the Most High living God, then yeah, that's important to me. Is crucial because I've seen so much based on my faith. Faith is important.
Okay.
Faith is
Okay.
a faith because see, I can read and get nothing out of it. You know what I'm saying? But if I read and I choose to, whatever it is, I can have faith in your word, like you just quoted Ben, Chris. You know what I'm saying? That's you're putting faith in his word. He said, I got this from you, Ben. You follow me? So yeah, I love that exchange of faith and energy. It's very
Right.
important.
Okay. So
Now, is it a precursor?
is it a precursor?
My thing for me is the person, is she teachable?
Okay.
Follow me. And do I have the willingness and the capacity, what I'm saying, or the capacity to pour in her, but does she also have the willingness and the capacity to to receive my pour, and vice versa?
I don't know if so religion is a definite no, right? For
Mhm.
me. And a lot of religion comes from the dogmas, as you just alluded to, that I just don't necessarily subscribe to today. And then, so like, if you think about it, and I'm breaking it down this way because like it's intentional why I'm breaking it down. Every religion is going to tell you that they're right. Every division
Right.
of religion is going to tell you that they're
Every
right.
denomination.
Every denomination is going to tell you that they're right, right? Like
Oh my God.
I could be a good Baptist, but and I meet a good Pentecostal, right? And like, well, they said you got to go this way. They said you got to go this way. And because of that, we can't be together because we're not going in the same direction.
Mhm.
Because this one says that, oh, well, now I was born Baptist, but because I was a female born Baptist and my husband
Right,
is
right, right, right,
Pentecostal, now I
right.
have to convert to him, but I believe in this way and that. Yeah. So like the dogmas that come around that surround themselves with religion, no. That and I could give two shakes whether you go to church or not. Spirituality to me is, are you connected to a source? I care about that. You touched on being you know, being connected and being teachable and things of that nature. So I grew up in church. I have a rich rooted history in religion. However, whether you go to church or not doesn't matter to me. It's not a precursor to whether or not we're going to actually be good in a relationship. What is a precursor is whether or not you have a connection to a source. I can't speak to your source, but does your source connect to my source? Because realistically, think about this. As a man, I need for my woman to understand how to be an Eve. I don't care if you learned that in the Presbyterian church, in the Baptist church,
Right.
in the Bedside Baptist, or the Sleepy Willow Pentecostal. I don't care where you learned it from. Do you know how to be a rib?
So now,
Because if you think about it, like realistically, man, the rib is what? The rib protects the
right.
heart. So I don't really care because you think about this. If you read the scripture, he pulled the Most High created Eve out of the rib, not the foot, not the hand, not the because it protects the vital organs.
So
Right? So I don't care where you learned it from. If you learned it
As
from
long as it's the
street
right
side
source,
Pentecostal, I don't care. Do you
right,
know how to be a rib?
right, right
The,
source.
so your knowledge and your ability to connect to a source for you to be everything that you are destined to be is the precursor to being with me.
If you think about it, going to the text, it's what, Ruth, Naomi, and I believe it's Orpha. They're following her, but there was no. We're reading in the text about these women, but it doesn't say, well, they were. Naomi was Pentecostal, and
Right.
you see, we. This is such division. If you just read it as a principle,
Principle.
you
There
follow,
you
Yep.
go.
and say, man, I aspire. It resonates with me. I ascribe to that, and now I aspire to walk in that position, in that posture. So yeah,
And
that's why I said for me, it's not a precursor of saying you got to go to. As long as you're teachable and you can teach me and we can connect.
Yeah.
and to come back to that, so the other thing is you may mention to the capacity piece. And so a lot of times, and being taught and everything like that, that you had said, like capacity is not the ability to pour into someone, it's the ability to receive and capture that which is poured. That is actually what capacity is. So a lot of times we're teaching people in church things that aren't true. And like, oh, well, do you have the capacity to be with me? Well, the capacity to be with me is to be able to receive all of me. Because if I pour out of myself into you and you can't receive me, then I am literally on. If I have a gallon pitcher and I'm pouring it into a 12-ounce glass, you don't have the capacity. Now you can enlarge your capacity through wisdom, knowledge, understanding. How much more do I read? The more that I read and learn, the more I can grow in my capacity. The more I grow in my capacity, the more I'm able to take of you. So I can't. So if I meet Garvin today, and Garvin is a gallon, and I'm a 12-ounce cup, but I am intent on becoming a gallon, then I'm going to study, I'm going to read, I'm going to learn, I'm going to make sure that I am enlarging my wisdom and territory so that he's a gallon, but this week I'm a half gallon. Next month, I'm a 3 quarts. 3 months from now, I'm a gallon. So when it's time for Garvin to go ahead and pour all of himself into me, I now have the capacity to receive
Mm.
that which he is pouring into me. And I'm not wasting that which he's poured because I've enlarged my territory to be able to receive him. So I had to be taught how to do that. But I had to be a willing learner
Mhm.
in order for me to get there. And so that's where I quibble with religion. And if you say, because religion is going to tell you, girl, you don't have to do anything. They tell you all the time in church, just wait on your Boaz. No, you weren't. She wasn't rewarded by waiting. She was but rewarded by going to work. So
So Ben,
go ahead.
let me ask you this question. And on the question says, should it be a precursor for committing to a person? When you talk about committing, are you talking about dating committing or marriage committing? Because we have this, it's so, if you all have noticed, in social media is now inundated with information about dating relationship. And I think it's so important that we pay attention to it because relationship is not going anywhere.
No,
Mm-mm.
It's not going anywhere.
but how we relationship has completely and utterly
It
changed.
it has changed. It has
Mm.
changed. But what's influenced that is I don't know, man. It's just so many. So many different variables. You
There's too many.
have.
There's too many.
Brother Ben, if I know that I'm a whole gallon out here, and I and I meet a nice young lady, a nice little tenderoni, and I discover that she's only a shot glass, but I also see and realize that she's teachable and she's willing to learn because at this state, I know that she can't receive me. I can't dump my gallon into her shot glass. It would just be a washout. But she's willing to grow and to learn. Are we saying that I should stay in the picture? until she becomes the gallon so that she can receive me?
Yes and no. Okay. So yes and no, right? So here's the deal. When you're with somebody, you learn as you pour, you learn how much of them they can absorb, how much they can take. As you are with them, if you continue to pour and you keep pouring at the same level, you're learning that this person isn't growing. So if they're not growing, if they're not expanding, then they can't take all of you. But if you started off as a shot glass and then you ended up in a rocks glass, since we're going to use the bartender, right? So she turned into a rocks glass at this point, right? Oh, well, she can take more of me. Now she done turned into a wine glass. Oh, she can take more of me. Oh, now she's a decanter, right? So like the more that you are actually pouring is the more that you can see, oh, she has expanded her territory to be able to take everything that you're pouring. The problem with it is you keep pouring your full self into a shot glass and the shot glass never grows.
So Ben, you know what? And you make that's intense. Pouring into a shot, it never grows. So everybody's out here looking for a wife and a husband. So what would you all say is the difference between a wife and a husband? And one of my questions we talked about, man, what is marriage? When does marriage begin? Like when is somebody married?
Okay,
Go ahead.
so
Like,
I'm gonna answer your first question. I mean your last question first.
Okay,
Okay, you're married before you walk down the aisle.
Absolutely.
that's my
You're
thought
married
process.
before you walk down the aisle.
That's
You're
my thought
already married.
process.
This is the thing is like I get so stuck. I posed this question a while ago. I said, should girlfriends submit to boyfriends?
Right,
And everybody
right,
always asks,
right.
but like, no, you should never do it, blah, blah, blah. And I always ask the question, and nobody can answer it. So when do you learn to submit?
You
You
have
don't.
to submit in the relationship.
Right.
You
So
don't.
once I've gotten myself into a committed relationship, I'm already operating with marriage principles. I can't because the only way that I learn how to be married is to be married. You don't just wake up one day married and know how to be a wife and know how to be a husband. You operate in the principles prior to, and you have to exercise those principles day in, day out, week
But
in, week out, month in, month out.
you know my motto. You know my motto. This came to me years ago. I was like, every husband is a
Yeah,
man, but not every man is husband.
that's it.
Every wife is woman, but not every woman is wife.
Right.
Husband and wife are the heart and the nature of the Most High. We're groomed for this. We've been groomed. You don't just show up like you say, like I pronounce you husband and wife. Okay. And then people say, I'm married now. You're not. You're not married then. You were married before someone said I do. Just like you're divorced long before the judge hits the gavel.
That's it.
That's why they say in some states it's required you have to be separate from bed and table for 1 year to make
Right.
sure you are mentally, not just physically, mentally, because remember, the physical is going to only do what the mind meditates in it.
Right. That's it.
So for 1 year, if you can abstain from that person for 1 year, then okay.
Right.
Y'all don't want to be married. Y'all don't want to be together.
Exactly. So I think so tying both of those questions together, you can't turn around and waste your how would I say it? You can't turn around and waste your source on someone who cannot hold you. And you learn that, you recognize that by their ability to grow and expand.
So why do we
And
why
that's not man, that's man and woman, right? Because I don't think women should sit around and wait for men who can't carry them either, right? Who can't absorb all of their essence, their nature. So it's not, you know me, I'm not a gender specific type of person. It's more so if you're wasting your source, like ain't no one has ever said, you know what? I got a gallon of milk and I'm gonna take and pour this whole gallon of milk in a shot glass. Why? Because you're wasting the you're wasting the contents in a vessel that can't hold it.
incapable? Chris, I
Mm.
want to hear what you have to say. What's the
No,
difference?
you
What's the, I mean, just your life experience. What's the difference between husband and wife?
Man, I think
Husband
that
and
is a
girlfriend.
very loaded. That's a loaded question. I would definitely say the difference between a husband and wife. For from my experience, I've never jumped the broom, if we would say. I've
I was,
never
and
been.
let me reframe that question. The difference between a wife
Uh,
and a girlfriend and a husband and a boyfriend. What's the difference? Please forgive me.
okay, I got you. To me, the a wife is someone that you choose every day. It's commitment. It's someone that I don't love you because of, but in spite of, that because there's always going to be somebody thicker, finer, prettier, longer hair, thicker hair, whatever. But at the end of the day, for the next X amount of years, I'm still gonna choose this woman. To me, that's wife.
Mhm.
That's the one I'm going to God about you and everything. The girlfriend is the shot glass who continues to and desires to only want to be the shot glass. That's the girlfriend. The wife is going to expand her territory and be the gallon for you. That's why I'm going to continue to choose her every day.
I, I, I,
That's my
I like what you're saying. I like that. That's intense. I like that. Ben, I want to go ahead.
So I don't want to say I disagree because
Uh,
everybody's ideas of it, whatever. But I spoke about this earlier about the wife
Mhm.
again. So about if we look at Adam and Eve,
Right.
right? Eve was created from Adam. She was created
bro.
from a very specific place
Mhm.
from his body. She was created out of his rib. And if you look at the function of the rib cage, it is protecting the vital organs. A wife is going to protect that man. A wife is going to protect that peace. A
Mhm.
wife is going to protect that home. Because if the heart is messed up, it had to have gone through, it had to have penetrated the rib cage to be jacked up. If the liver, if the all of the
Watch
vital
this.
organs inside of the body is protected by the rib cage. The Eve was made from the rib. So her function is to protect. So
And
if you
listen,
don't understand as a woman, as a girlfriend, how to protect me, there's no way you can be a wife. That's the difference.
the same rib that can protect can also pierce, can do harm.
Mhm.
The same rib it can break off and do harm, do bodily harm. The same rib that protects. Now, you mentioned about wife. With that being said, you and I talked earlier about Proverbs 31. So I mean, because I'm gonna tell you, as you guys were talking, this is what came to me. This is what came to me. Wife is going to take the strength that husband deposits in her, protect it, restore it, and give it back to him. She'll
Mhm.
Oh,
take his strength and give it back to him. She'll multiply it by responding to him. And
mm,
husband's going to know. See, it's a mindset. It's a way of thinking. It's the way
right.
you carry yourself. You're not a businessman because you became a businessman one day, someone gave you a suit. You were practicing business ethics, business concepts long before when you were a kid. I know a nurse right now, a good friend of mine who used to operate on, she says she dissected a baby pig. She delivered it and dissected a baby pig. What was she
Mhm.
doing? She was nursing then. I told my brother he's an attorney. I said, you didn't go to school to become an attorney. You went to school so that the earth could recognize the authority that you are from the kingdom. That's how man, I'm telling you. And that's
So
why when brothers talk, because we're fought, brother, we are fought so
so
vehemently. Go ahead.
hold on, because I'm about to touch on that because everything you said. Now, if you think about it, I told you I'm not religious, but I love the Bible, right? So if you come back to the Bible, he that
Fine.
finds, right? So you don't, it didn't say he that finds a girlfriend. It
No, it
said
did
he
not.
that finds a wife. So what does that denote? That means you were already operating in the wife concept
Yes.
when I met
Yes.
you.
Yes.
You was
Yep.
already wife. I
Right.
didn't have to make you
Mhm.
wife. You were already wife. You already understood the
My God.
concepts, the constructs, everything that go along with being the wife. I didn't find you and make you. I
Listen.
found you and you already were.
So how we do relationship is sometimes Going back to the previous conversation and episode where we did the check-in and we were talking about the Tiffany box.
Right.
Sometimes we try to make what should already be made. All you have to do is show up and be in your best form and compliment one another.
Mm.
The problem with us is that we keep trying to make the contents like the box. That's not our responsibility. Our responsibility. So, like we was
Gotta go
talking,
like the
we was
box.
talking, we was talking off break that you see this pretty picture of a cake, and in order for you to get the cake, you need to have the recipe and you need to have the ingredients. And then it's not if I have the recipe, your job is to bring the ingredients. And if you don't have the ingredients, it's your job to go and get the ingredients so that I can operate in the recipe to make the cake that we want. But the problem is, a lot of us, we see the contents and the contents are missing. And then we're like, well, go and get the contents because I really love, but they don't want to go get the contents. And then you're like, well, we can't make this cake. We can't get this pretty cake that we want because I got the recipe. I promise you, I got the recipe, but I can't get it because you won't get the components, the ingredients that's necessary for us to make the cake. It is still incumbent upon each of us to go and get the cake, the ingredients that are within us to go to make what it is that we want.
Everyone say you got to have the ingredients. You have to have everything.
You gotta have it.
You can have the box, the content, and if you don't have the eggs, you cannot make it
Can't make a
without the
cake.
proper ingredients. And the thing about it is going back to us trying to make, if it's already made, the only thing we should have to do is complement and use properly. Sometimes what we're trying to make, we are abusing because it is out of context. Listen, this has been a phenomenal conversation. It's been great. I'm grateful for just the flow. Some of the topics we've covered so far is why is there a double standard in dating and can it be reversed? How important is religion and spirituality in relation to your partner, man? That was good. That sparked some interest, some conversation. And then we talked about the difference between a wife and a girlfriend and a husband or boyfriend. So we're now going to go ahead and continue with this show. Ben, what's that question you want to throw at us, man?
So listen, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Like, so why do we even relationship? So I'm thinking about this from the concept of there's a movie Tyler Perry did years ago. Why did I get married? You got one or two, whatever. So like think about it from that concept and like why do we even relationship?
Hmm.
Garvin, like why do it? Why even do it?
Well, I would definitely say, man, at this great point in my life with having children, young children, and not to put it all off on them, but I mean, I would want a woman to definitely be a good mother figure for my children, role model for my daughter. I would love for my children to see me be loved and for me to love her, you know what I mean, as a teacher, so they can grow up in that. So I would say at this point in my life, that would be my answer. Because I mean, I love myself, I love my children, and just bringing somebody into that. So that's where I'm at with it at this point in my life.
Pre-late, what did it look like?
Ben, we all have that. I believe we all, I know I have wanted to emulate what we saw in the family dynamics, in our home, our frame of reference. For me, it was a two-parent home. And so we usually model what we see, even and a lot of times a single parent home. It's in us to relate. It's in us to be intimate, not sexual. I mean, that's a part of us, but to be intimate, to get to know people, and we connect. So for me, there were points though where I wanted to create that family that I felt I didn't have growing up. I felt I was mature enough to do what I did, and though I didn't know anything about marriage, I thought I knew everything about it. It's what it was, and there are also points where I got tired of being alone because I had done my work and I felt I had done my work. But one thing you said that stuck with me and resonated so clearly is like we attract to our level of healing. So what I'm finding is that in my latter years is that what I've needed to elevate from, I've attracted, and it has helped to trigger. Sometimes we get into permanent situations that should remain and only be temporary. We try to make permanent out of temporary, and it gets us.
So I'm a bounce out for that before I get into my point. So too often times we end up making leaves branches and branches roots.
Elaborate, Kaisa.
A leaf is designed to only be in there. Leaves fall when the season calls. Branches stay on the tree, but they only stay on the tree long enough until the storm hits. But the roots of the tree is the foundational base of the tree. And if you pay attention, right, trees are usually linked close to each other. So
Mhm.
the two of them end up touching each other underground. So, like,
Let's start winding it up.
if you try to make a branch a root, a
Mhm,
branch was never underground rooted.
mhm.
Trees grow down before they grow up. So they go deep into the soil, into the ground before they actually elevate above the ground. So a branch was never designed to be a root because a root was designed to find sources in the water, in the soil to feed the tree. So a lot of times we see this pretty girl with all these curves, and we're like, "Oh, I need you to be my root." But you were never designed to be a root. You were designed to be a branch. It was cool for you to hang around for a season, but when the storms came, you proved yourself as to who you were. Why do
Mm.
I relationship? Because I conflate loneliness, companionship with relationship. I need more than just a companion.
So this,
Relationship is relating one towards another. If you use the scripture says the two shall become one. Right? Like, so if you take that same scripture that says we merge our energies, we merge our ideals, we merge our wills one to another. But a lot of us don't actually want to give of ourselves to a person because that makes us too vulnerable and we don't want to have another person to have that much power over us.
are you implying that there's a difference between companionship and relationship?
It's a huge difference. Companionship is simply somebody who is around. I
Mm.
don't have to necessarily relate to the relationship says relate. I need to understand you. Right? I said earlier, right? A house is built on Proverbs. A house is built on understanding, wisdom, and knowledge. If I don't understand you, if I can't relate to you, and relationship is we are relating one to another. And I am taking your will and my will, and we are merging it one to another. That's relationship. If I'm too selfish to give of myself to you, I can't be in relationship with you. And too many of us want to be companions as opposed to relating.
So Garvin, you said the same about the companionship and relationship. There's a difference from your perspective.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There's a difference. Companion is we chilling, we hanging out, we
Mhm.
just kicking it. That's a that's a companion. But when it comes to a relationship, that's definitely someone I'm investing time in getting to know. Somebody that I'm opening up to for them to get to know me as well. That's a relationship.
When does marriage begin?
No, we said marriage starts, but here, listen, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say, is it when people have sex? Is that marriage? You follow me? I'm telling you, like, when does marriage begin?
So marriage begins, I can't say necessarily when they have sex. Here's the thing that you have to understand with people. Marriage begins before, obviously, you get married.
I definitely agree with that.
But here's the other thing that people that when it comes to marriage, I only know you up until the day that I marry you. You're gonna be somebody different tomorrow. If I'm to what's today, August. If I marry you on August the 11th, August the 12th, I still got to get to know who you are because you've become a different person that day. I only know of you up until this point. I don't know who you are becoming. I know you who you were. And so the marriage process is still a learning process, and I've got to learn who you are day in and day out. This is the thing I'm gonna tell everybody. You don't stop dating your partner.
Yes, I agree.
Just because you got married.
Yes. Yes.
You never stop dating. You continue to learn and evolve.
Dating, courting, you continue to learn them because each day they become a different person. And this is the When Brothers Talk radio show. We have had a phenomenal conversation. Chris G, thank you so much, man. Ben, thank you so much. Thank you
I'm
so
still
much.
in Chris's mood.
Continue to tune in every Monday at 9 p.m. and listen live 24/7 by going to wdrbmedia.com and click on the Listen Live tab. If you'd like to be a guest on this show, give us a call at 803-386-9842. 803-386-9842, or email us at winbrotherstalk@gmail.com. Also, connect with us on our social media platforms, YouTube and Spotify. Just look up When Brothers Talk. You've been listening to When Brothers Talk radio show with Chris Ben and our King brother Chris G on WDRB Media, the voice of the community, for double the information and inspiration. Until next time, continue to be blessed, and remember, when brothers talk, we positively impact lives and develop nations. Join the movement. We look to see you. God bless.